G'day fellas, and welcome to a video on Age of Mythology Retold. Today I come with great news, a couple of really good things that I want to talk about. The first one you'll see on our screen right now. It is Age of Mythology Retold, New Gods Pack, Freya. I don't know if this is a leak or intentional, but it is on the Xbox.com official website. It's been dropped. You might be wondering, what is this? Well, let me explain. So if you go onto Steam and want to buy Age of Mythology Retold, you've got a couple of options. Do you go for the standard edition? Do you go for the premium edition? And people didn't really know exactly what was the difference between the two. So they uploaded a comparison, but even then they said, you've got access to the New Gods Pack, Freya. No one knew what that meant. Well, now we do. And it's incredible news for Age of Mythology Retold, not just for this little DLC, but for the future of AOM Retold as well. Let's get into it and take a look at how damn beautiful this is. Welcome to the Freya God Pack, a new type of expansion for Age of Mythology Retold. Challenge friends with a new major god, Freya, and 3 new minor gods, Ulir, Agar, and Vdar, and leap into battle with their new god powers, myth units, and technologies. Battle your way across the frozen north in an exclusive mythical battle scenario, crushing your opponents with the wrathful power of your new gods. Now, why is this such good news? This is such good news because people didn't know if it was just going to be a new minor god for the old factions or the old major gods of the Norse, or whether we were getting a brand new major god with a whole suite of minor gods. And now we've got our answer, and this looks incredible. There is so much work that has gone into it. Let's dive in and take a look at some of the things that you're going to see. Obviously, we've got screenshots here. We'll be jumping into those really quickly. So 4 new gods. The Norse major god of fertility and kingship, Freya. Freya's focus is defensive and technological rather than aggressive. Freya's god power is Gullinbursti, which temporarily summons Freya's magical giant golden boar to defend a town center. Yeah, that's kind of incredible. Let's take a look and see exactly what we're talking about. Right there, look at that, Gullinbursti, the man in the middle of the picture. Absolutely beautiful frame on the guy. Look at that, you know, a girth to be... I'll stop myself right there. It's impressive. We'll say that much. I'm curious how this functions, but every single god has got a different god power that you can use throughout the game. You know, Ra's got his rain that you can use. Odin with his great hunt. Scales throughout the game depending on what age you use it. So I'm curious to see whether Gullinbursti is going to be powerful or more powerful the later that the game goes, or whether you just want to get him out nice and early. But another thing to note that they did mention is that it is temporary. So temporarily summons Freya's magical giant golden boar to defend a town center. So it already is giving us so much information, right? So like you're defending a town center, which means it's probably got a radius that you can call it to, and you know, I don't know whether it's just going to be your main town center or your starting town center, or whether you're going to be able to take a town center next to the enemy base and then use Gullinbursti and get a little bit of burst over on their side of the map, because that could be incredible, especially because this guy, judging by the girth of him, he's going to be incredibly powerful. This is not just going to be a small little summon, right? Like, this is not your ancestors. This is Gullinbursti. So I'm excited for that. Let's get into the next one. It's going to be Ulla. I apologize for butchering the pronunciation as well. Ulla, Ulir, not 100% sure. Could be Ul. That's not fun to say. The classical age Norse god of oaths and oaths and archery. Not the god of oats. God of oats is that's a god that my son worships every single morning. That little guy, he absolutely gets into his oats. In fact, both of them do. They love their oats. So god of oaths and archery. Ulir provides your defenses and longbow. Sorry, Ulir improves your defenses and long house units. Jeez, what's going on with me tonight? Ulir's god power, Asgardian Bastion, allows you to erect a powerful hill fort-like fortification 1 age earlier than usual. His myth unit is the Draugr, an undead archer whose arrows penetrate multiple targets. So we do have an image of the Draugr. We can take a look right here. So what they did mention about the Draugr is that its arrows penetrate multiple targets. So I'm curious if this is going to be the special ability. So as an example, like with the Sphinx, it has that special, I would say like a whirlwind kind of ability where it does spin to win. So I'm curious whether it's just going to be a big AoE shot that goes through all the enemy units, or whether their basic attacks are just going through and penetrating multiple units. So that'll be cool to see, but overall the models look incredible, really well detailed, and I'm loving these images. These images, they're not even 4K. I think they might, I don't know if they're 8K. Yeah, they're not 8K. I think they must be about 5K, but they've got an incredible resolution on them. We've also got a look here at the Asgardian Bastion. So if we take a look in this image, you'll see that we've got what appear to be hill forts, but they're a little bit different. They're frozen over. So I suspect this is what your Asgardian Bastion is going to be. And I think it leaves a lot of questions about this building. I was going to say unit. It's not really a unit, but building. The fact that it allows you to do it one age earlier than usual, that could be a big issue, especially, you know, they've come out of the gates and said it's a defensive god, Freya, and you've got the ability to erect a hill fort. I mean, they say hill fort-like fortification. It's not a hill fort, but it's a hill fort-like fortification one age earlier. So it seems like it's probably going to be pretty easy to play 2TC on this. You know what I'm just scared of? Please don't have Ragnarok. Can you imagine if this Civ has Ragnarok? How ridiculous this is going to be? You know, I go into the classical age, I drop my hill fort like fortification, the Asgardian Bastion, I take a second TC, I chill out behind it, I play defensive, and then I hit the 4th age, go Ragnarok, and just win the game. That would be crazy. So hopefully they don't have it, but let's keep moving on and take a look at what they've got in the heroic age. So they've got Agar, the heroic age Norse god of the sea and storms. Agar boosts your myth units and siege weapons. Agar's god power, Tempest, calls down a vicious hailstorm that damages and greatly slows down enemy units. So we can actually see that right here. You can see what appear to be like these crystals coming from the sky falling down. So I suspect that's what that is. You can see there's this glowing on the ground. I don't know, maybe that's the god power right there. What else have we got in here? His myth unit is the Rock Giant. A towering personification of stone who crushes and even devours buildings. So crushes and even devours buildings. Devours makes me think there could be, if he's eating buildings, is there a chance that he's actually going to start healing from eating buildings? I think I think there's a chance that could happen. If you're devouring something, you're eating it, and if you're eating it, you're getting something from there. So that's going to be our Rock Giant right here in the middle. Big handsome fella. He's got this lovely gold armor on. Actually, are these these are the same guys. He's got a shield right here. So 4 Rock Giants. So a whole bunch of giants obviously available to the Norse. They add a new one to the roster, the Rock Giant. And now we take a look at Vdar, the mythic age Norse god of vengeance and resilience. Vdar favors your human soldiers and heroes. Vdar's god power, Inferno, unleashes a fiery path of destruction that incinerates all in its path. So I think that is this one right here. So you can see we've got this wolf, I'd almost be tempted to say, but there is what appears to be incineration happening within the path of this. So really, really beautifully done by the devs here. Absolutely. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And as I said, I got a lot to talk about the future of AOM Retold, but yeah, that's definitely on the list. His myth unit is the Fafnir, the infamous wingless dragon of Norse legend, who envelops enemies in fire and poisonous fumes. And that's going to be this one right here. Have a look at the quality on this. Look at the detail that we get to see on the Fafnir. Incredible. Incredible stuff right there. But do note that there are no wings here, so you're not going to be flying this bad boy around, or this bad girl around. I think dragons, typically, they're girls, aren't they? At least in the lore, they're girls. Yeah, what a beautiful screenshot this one is. I think this might be in a mission somewhere, in a campaign somewhere. Just because of the fact that we've got these, what are they called? Stalagmites? I want to say stalagmites maybe, over the top. So now that we've gone over those, let's take a look at what we've got here. One new fully voiced mythical battle to round it out. It's called Regan Life's Rally. As his plans in Egypt unravel, Gargarensis travels north and rallies the giant clans to attack the Norse of Alfheim. Surrounded on all sides, the beleaguered Norsemen make a final stand and prepare to die valiantly when the Valkyrie, Regenlife, suddenly arrives to lead the defense. Will she inspire these hardy people to an unlikely victory, or will Freya's realm fall to the ravages of frost and flame? In this mission, you will worship the god Freya. There you go. So that is a look at what we've got coming. I would assume this is going to be a day 1 DLC for Age of Mythology Retold. And what I want to do now is just talk about why, in my head, or I don't know the best way to say this, but to me, this makes so much sense. And I'm so glad that the devs did it. And the future of Age of Mythology Retold looks incredible just because of this. Let me get into it, okay? So if we take a look at Retold, we know that there's quite a bit of content that they've got planned out for us. Obviously, the base game is going to include your Atlanteans, your Greeks, your Egyptians, your Norse. We get the 4 factions, and they've each got 3 of the gods that you've got available to you, except for the Norse, who can go up to that 4th god with the new gods pack, Freya. The fact that they've done this and not just made it a minor god where, you know, Thor can have access to Freya now instead of having access to whoever he previously had access to, and they've instead just made a new god, opens this up for every single faction to have this. You can now have the Greeks with a new god, the Egyptians with a new god, the Atlanteans with a new god. And, you know, who says that we have to stop at 4? We can go up to a 5th one. The point I'm trying to make is it's so easy to add. I say easy, but it's so simple to add this content in, and it just makes so much sense. And I suspect there's going to be a huge amount of replayability in this content. I wouldn't be surprised if Freya is one of the most popular picks as well coming out of the gate. On top of that, we've also got Expansion 1 and Expansion 2. I don't know whether they've confirmed if they're doing the Chinese, but I would hope that they're going to be doing the Chinese, just because I know that in the original Age of Mythology, they were very poorly received. And I want to see how they can mix it up, because obviously there's a massive difference between the original Age of Mythology Retold, the original Age of Mythology and then Age of Mythology Retold. And I would expect that, especially considering the fact that they know how much people didn't like, I'm using those words very carefully, didn't like the Chinese, I'm curious to see how they switch things up and make it a little bit more palatable. But yeah, other than that, I am incredibly excited about the future of Age of Mythology Retold. The new gods pack, which was leaked on Reddit, so huge shout out. Oh, sorry for the flashbang. Sorry, I should have warned you. I'm not using the dark mode on this PC. I apologize. Yeah, huge shout out to the boys over on Reddit and the girls over on Reddit as well, because they have been the ones that have revealed all of this and posted it all. As I said, I'm not sure if it's meant to be public, but look, I'm looking forward to it. Not long to go. I'm incredibly hyped. I'm sure you are as well. But look, if you've got any questions, please leave it down in the comments below. I'll leave a link in the description to Steam where you can go and purchase Age of Mythology Retold if you haven't already. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.